Guys, welcome to this training all about objections and why objections are really important for you to understand so you can really excel in your online business. My name is Matt Joe. I am Prima's husband and also business partner, and I often come in and do some training in her courses just to help her out to make sure the guys can really excel on this topic. I live and breathe sales. I've been doing sales all my life, right from when I started in telesales to a vice president for a large multinational drug company in charge of sales and marketing. And then I transferred my skills to come online, and I've done multiple six figures in my own business and with my amazing wife online selling various offers. So that's just a quick background to me. Let's jump into what we're going to be talking about today. And the topic is objections. Now, objections, in my opinion, are so important to understand. If you don't understand objections, then you really will struggle in your business. I want you guys to imagine this scenario and be very serious when I go through this. What if the prospects you talk to started saying yes to your offer a lot more? What if you were suddenly able to turn a prospect's no into a yes? Trust me, that is what a good salesperson can do more often than not. What if you could sell your offers regardless of the price you attach to it? Does that sound like a stretch? Our students used to think so too, until that stuff started happening to them. And why? Well, it's simple. It's all down to their dedication to truly learn some fundamental key sales stuff. The good news for you is that you don't need to be the next Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, Grant Cardone, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy. No. You just need the foundations to be better than everyone else in the marketplace. And also, if you understand why stuff is happening, you have the ability to fix it. And you just do that through basic education and sales skills. Of course, the more expert you become on the sales topic, the more money you will get. But don't worry, you don't need to become a sales guru. Just know this, your business completely relies on the sales you make. Without a sale, there is no exchange of value from both sides. Value for you in the form of a financial reward, and no value for your customer. The value from the offer and the promise of the end result it brings. So just know, your business completely survives on sales. Sales determine whether you thrive in the online world or die. Objections are part and a significant part of the overall sales process. There are many key result areas to sales. Objections is just one of them. But just note the key word that's included in that slide, natural. It's not something you've done that's wrong. It's not something that the prospect has misunderstood. No, they are a natural part of the sales process. And when we will go through this training, you will actually really learn objections are an amazing thing because it means you have a real buyer. When you have the objection, you have the opportunity to continue your sales process, carry on the conversation. If they don't make an objection, guess what? You're being ghosted. They're not being honest with you. You can't help them. You can't help them actually see the value in your offer. You can't help to fix their concerns, their problems. So objections, just know, are a normal thing. Objections are a fantastic thing, as I will explain to you in more detail in a minute. Now, objections are important. They have a direct impact, an impact on the amount of money your business will generate. That's how important understanding objections are. Effective objection handling, honestly, is all about preparation and prediction. The takeaway I can give you from this training, and it's the big one that I really want you to always look at, is prepare for objections. You should go away after this training with a pen and a piece of paper and write down every possible question, concern, and objection the prospect may raise to your product, service, idea, whatever it may be, i.e. your offer. But when you write down and you can preempt because you know what they're going to say, guess what? We can formulate responses in advance so we come across as an expert. That is so important. People only buy from experts, and that includes experts in sales, experts in the business and offer you are making, the promise you are going to deliver. The problem is when you do not prepare, things are then unpredictable, and random conversations that aren't prepared, especially in sales, rarely lead to success. I cannot emphasize the importance of this subject. What you need in any business, of course, but especially when it comes to your sales process, is predictable outcomes in the sales conversations that you have, and that comes from having the certainty in the responses you make when objections are raised. It comes down to the preparation and the testing you do with the responses you give upon your prospects. All offers will have unique objections and issues and problems, but when you can start tailoring to your prospect, then the magic will happen, and that comes from preparation and testing. When you handle objections as an expert, actually you'll soon find out it's the fastest way to close a deal. Objections actually advance to the sale, to the close. Honestly, it's the best thing that could actually happen, because what they're doing is they are actually letting you know what their concerns are. Again, the unspoken objection is the most dangerous of all, but when you can deal with their concerns, it's the quickest way to advance the sale to a close, the exchange of value. That's why objections are great. A well-handled objection brings agreement very fast, accelerates the whole sales process, and if you're very good at sales, if you can handle the objection as an expert and then ask for a sale, more often than not, it will lead to a close if the timing is right, if you truly have dealt with all their problems and you have this true agreement. Yeah? But you must understand, objections are not conflict, okay? They are not something aimed at you. It's not a battle. It's not a war. Many salespeople think a no is personal to them. Just know it's rarely conflict towards you, okay? Very rare someone in life will be all out to hate you. No, it's simply this. It's the prospect reacting to factors about the offer, about what you're discussing, and it's not directed as you as the salesperson. You must have that firmly planted in your mind so you can really detach yourself from the sales process and be an expert at all times. Just know it's factors and nothing personal against you. Nothing against you, and the good news is factors can be fixed. You can fix these things and you can fix objections. That's what makes this whole thing exciting. So just know this, they're just factors that can be fixed, nothing personal against you. So what exactly is this thing called an objection? Simple terms, objections are concerns, hesitations expressed by prospects that can happen at any part in the sales process. Believe it or not, you can get the objection, first step, prospecting, right to the close. When you get that yes, you can even get an objection jump up then. They can range from questions about your coaching service, if that's what you're selling, to doubts about, their suitability, their value. And just know, often when these come up, it's because you've not really dealt with the rest of the sales process properly. Topic for another day. Question. That can be one of the type of objections. There are three types. There's a simple question. Salespeople panic when they think they hear an objection. It's not. It's actually just a question. It's a question they need answering just so they can give you a solid yes or no in the decision of making the purchase. A lot of the time, simple question. Needs a very simple reply. Doesn't need anything more than that. The next type is a complaint. It's a complaint against you as a salesperson. Believe it or not, salespeople are often the creator of an objection because they misunderstand something, they open the door and then they start a whole new conversation that never had to happen, and you actually are the creator of an objection. And it's a complaint. You've started introducing stuff and yeah, you have to deal with it because they're complaining. You brought this up, fix it. Or it could be a full-blown objection, but they don't necessarily have to be a roadblock. They can actually be a very good thing, so don't worry. Now, objections will impact your business, but they will present these things, which I call valuable opportunities to address concerns, build massive trust, massive rapport, close more deals. Now, let's jump into the types of objection. Of course, there's a million ways that an objection can be presented, and that's not even an exaggeration. It could be, oh, I can't buy yet, I need to talk to my cousin. Oh, I can't buy yet, I need to talk to my partner. I can't buy yet, I want to talk to the shopkeeper, because I think he bought something similar. I can't buy yet, I need to talk to my uncle's friend Bob, okay? They can be presented in a gazillion ways, but believe it or not, all objections come just down to 4 things. First one, lack of need, yeah? A lack of need can occur from a number of things. One, you didn't qualify them properly early on in the sales process and you're making offers to people that you have no business making an offer to, or they don't really understand what the offer is, or again, they don't even think they need to fix the thing that you're talking about. There are certain circumstances where people may have a problem, but they don't really need to fix it. It's not enough pain there for them to go out and buy a solution. Lack of urgency. There's no need for me to buy now, so what I do, let me get back to you in a month's time. Again, it's because you've not created the urgency in the sales process for them to make a buying decision here and now. Urgency is different from pressure when you are a sales expert. Lack of trust, of course. Okay, now trust is not just trust in you, it's trust in your offer, it's trust in the company. There's 3 essential ingredients to any sale. They're called the 3 10s. You can learn this from Jordan Belford, The Wolf of Wall Street. But essentially it says this: there are 3 things to any sale. 1, they must love and trust you, okay? But even more than that, they must see you as an expert. Number 2, they must love and think your product is the best thing since sliced bread. And if they don't think that, they won't buy. And the third thing is they must love and trust the company which you are working for, okay? So if you can't achieve all 3 things of those, there is no trust, and they won't buy. So just know lack of trust is a huge thing. That's one of the 4 things. And then lack of money. Now, lack of money is often actually a lie. Again, if you've qualified the prospect correctly, the objection normally is a lie. It's a mask, okay? It's a mask to actually another underlying objection, okay? Very rare will someone say it costs too much when they really mean that as the actual objection. And again, if you don't handle it right, you create new objections, new conversations, and it can just go on and on and on and on. And honestly, a lot of the time, it's not even an objection to the price. Think about it. If you went and drove a Bentley, okay? There's very few people after they've driven a Bentley will say, oh my God, this costs too much, yeah? What they mean is they can't actually afford it, or they can't justify spending that type of money on something like that because it may be in conflict with their values and their morals, because they may believe that they shouldn't invest such a sum of money in one item. But it's very rare what they actually was saying, oh my God, this costs too much, because once they've experienced the product, they really understand that a Bentley is worth its price tag. So when you get these objections, the skill really is to find out, what do they really mean? What do they really mean? And there's various methods and models to handle objections effectively. We don't have much time today, so I'm just going to give you a very simple formula. And that formula is something known as APAC. The APAC model makes life really easy for us. It's just 4 steps, and the acronym is this. Step 1, acknowledge. Step 2, we do something called probing. Step 3 is all to do with the answer. And step 4 is closing. And these are the steps for dealing with, honestly, any type of objection. If you always use the APAC model, you can deal with objections very well. What you must do as a salesperson is when someone raises an objection, you must acknowledge that you've heard with it, and then you must probe. Probe. That may be awkward for you when you first start doing this, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And probing allows you to uncover the real stuff that will help you to make a sale, and actually will help them to make a buying decision and remove any blocks that they may have. Step 3 is you provide an answer, and step 4 is that you actually close the matter. You need to get confirmation that you've dealt with it and that they're satisfied. So the APAC model is very effective. And what we're going to do, we're going to look at a very common objection people get. The price is too high. The price is too high. Now, let's look at some mistakes to start with, and then you'll see why they are mistakes. When a salesperson often hears the objection, the price is too high, they do one thing. They jump to discounts or trying to reduce the price and offer payment plans, all this stuff. It's a mistake. The prospect, when they say the price is too high, the amateur salesperson. So how much can you afford? It's the worst response you can give initially. Why? I'll come on to that in 2 seconds. And when you jump to discount, no, you're doing objection handling very wrong. The second common mistake is this. Prospect says, the price is too high. Salesperson, let me again restate the value. Okay? They jump to going over the value again. It will achieve nothing. You need to use APAC. This is why. 1, you acknowledge, yeah? I understand sometimes the money can be a concern for some people. Yeah? Empathy, putting yourself in their shoes, very powerful. Step 2, we need to probe. If you don't mind, can you share with me why you feel the price is too high to you? Yeah, so we've acknowledged and we're making ourselves relatable to them. We're putting ourselves in their shoes. We're not really wanting to agree that the price is too high because we see the value, but we need to probe. If you don't mind, can you share with me why you feel the price is too high to you? Now you need to use one of the biggest sales secrets you can ever have. You need to listen. Listen. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Listen carefully to the prospect's response after you've probed to further clarify the prospect's concern. So, this objection can be categorized possibly as lack of money, yeah? But what if the prospect's response was this? I don't think it's worth the investment. Now we're uncovering the actual objection. It's not that they don't have the money, they don't see the value, possibly, or something else. And this objection may lean towards lack of need, lack of trust. And it's actually not to do with lack of money at all. And that's the problem when the salesperson makes a mistake and goes to a discount, but for what purpose? They don't need or trust it in their minds, and it doesn't matter if you reduce the price, they won't buy it, yeah? Or if you just randomly go into restating the value of what? They've heard it already. How's that going to help? What you need to do is probe to find out. There's probe further to clarify the prospect's concern, to find out the real meaning of the objection, because then you can fix it. And like I said, objections are great because it accelerates us to the sale. Thanks for sharing your thought with me. Can you help me to understand which part of our service program that you don't see the value? Again, nice open question. Let them do the talking, you do the listening. Makes things easy. That was a brief introduction to sales objections. Honestly, APAC is a powerful tool. There's loads to it, but I just want to give you a tool and an example of how you can really help to uncover a true objection. Yeah? Just know that when you can deal with an objection as an expert, it's the keys to the kingdom. It allows you to sell more often. Thank you for joining Prima's amazing Facebook cash machine. I hope you're really enjoying the content. Just know the value in this course is incredible. I know that very few people will have the actual intention of running with that knowledge, because sadly that's the reality of all courses. But just know the people who implement and take action, I know the rewards are there for them, and I hope that you are one of the people that are going to go away and implement and have massive success in the business. If you want to learn more about objections, feel free to join my email list. It just explores the sales topics, but at the moment we're diving deep into the topic of objections. If you want to actually become an expert in objections, feel free to join me in that journey. But just remember my main message to you today: up your game in objection handling, and honestly it will unlock the doors to more business. All you have to do really is prepare for every possible objection or question or concern they can raise, so you too can deal with it as an expert. Appreciate you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this training and found it useful, and I'm sure I'll see you another day inside another one.